Hello, everybody.
Yo, yo.
Welcome to Burning Hammer Wrestling. We're late this week a little bit, but
Just a hair. Yeah.
we're back. Here's our names. If you don't know us, if you've never been here before,
Yep.
go over to w.gg, support the show, use our promo code. You get 10% off. And also like and subscribe. That helps us.
It helps. Do it.
So with that being said,
Do
let's get into this thing here.
Let's do it.
I've been frustrated a little bit with WWE.
Sure.
Since like before Backlash. Maybe not before Backlash. The lead up was all right. But I think Backlash itself was good. But
Yeah.
felt like there could have been more.
better. Yeah.
And since then, I don't know. I think a lot of storylines are like kind of questioning themselves and wondering where they're going.
I think a lot of storylines are getting to the point where they've been what's going on for a while, and they're starting to get
They're trying to shift
long
gears
in the tooth, and they're trying to figure out where to go next.
Find another path with all these things.
Yeah. I love Heyman with Seth and Braun.
That's great.
That's new stuff. That's really great. But
I like
now
Jacob
what?
Fatu, like where he's starting to go.
Yep,
He's
like that.
He's getting mic time.
I think the right move in that is to have that be the dissolving of that version of the bloodline.
Yes.
And just get the bloodline done. Like, come on.
Yeah, Solo's being kind of... His character's changing, too.
It is.
And I kind of like the way he's doing that.
Me too. Yeah.
He's
I don't mind
opening it up, and he's being a little more like more fun about his character.
I mean, Solo is so much better than I think he gets credit for, and he's done a really great job of shouldering, like the burden of that. You know what I mean?
I think they got it gave them a really good idea of, they're like, hey, here's a huge ball and you have to run with it.
Good luck.
And he's like,
I think he's done a lot better than I think people realize.
Yeah. And I think so now they're like, okay, well, we'll let you do a little bit more of what you want to do, because they trust him a little more now.
How do you not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame him for that. And I'm interested in seeing where that goes, the Fatu Solo thing, because that'll turn into a...
it's gotta.
Obviously, that'll culminate somewhere.
It's gotta, yeah. Jacob is super over.
Yeah.
Yeah. yeah, super over. And one of the most compelling guys on all of their product right now.
Yeah, he's fun to watch.
Yep.
And he's like a hype guy. Like, he's
super hype. Yeah.
He's great. He's gonna be a big deal. He already kind of is.
He already kind of is.
He's gonna be even more of a big deal. It's crazy seeing some of these guys, like the jump and how fast it is. Like, because Braun Breaker, he was sitting in that mid card spot for a while, and then just bang, overnight he's
your time to shine, brother.
Drops the belt and goes, I'm in this now.
Which we've talked about in the past, about how it seems
in kayfabe. That's kind of funny though.
It is, for sure. But it feels like those B titles are actually super important again, and getting used for what they're supposed to get used for, which is to give guys a ball and see how they handle it.
Right.
And when guys handle it well, they naturally move up the card.
Sure.
And it happened with Braun. It happened with it's happening with Jacob. It seems to be happening with LA Knight as well. However,
that's taken a while, though.
That's taken a long time, and I don't know what.
Yeah, I wonder if it'll ever happen. To be honest with you,
yeah,
because
I don't know.
I don't know if he's totally uncomfortable with being where he is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure.
I'm sure he's okay with where he's at. He's making good money.
I'm sure he's making good money. He's getting a lot of the things that he was hungry for now.
Sure.
The only thing he's not is the top guy of the whole company. And how could he be? He's not going to be.
It's so dense right now. Like, you
just want to be operating and allowed to operate at a certain level with a certain tier of guys for a certain amount of money and with the merchandising opportunities and all those big things. Like, that's the thing I've been realizing is that, like Cody talked about it, like top guy stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's not necessarily anymore about being the champ, the centerpiece.
Sure, yeah.
It's about getting elevated to a place where at any given moment they can call on you to be in part of the main event story, and you're ready.
Right.
And in the meantime, you're facing off against other main event level guys.
Yeah, it's a preparation stage in a lot of ways. But we know LA Knight's ready. You know what I mean?
But that's my point, is that he's one of the first guys we've seen be in that it's almost like a new spot. Because they've got such a dense roster, it seems like they figured out a way to use top guys.
Yeah, it's really hard to, man, it's like...
Because, like, look at Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest and shit.
Yeah.
These are guys that are world champion level guys.
Yeah.
They've had the world title already. So now what do you do with them?
Yeah.
You feud them with each other and with other guys that are that level.
You have to try and make the feuds matter.
Yep, make the feuds matter
underneath that level of the title level.
Yep.
There's so many guys that like you could see with the belt right now, though. And
that's my point.
That's why it's so hard to.
And as long
if I was booking, I wouldn't know what to do.
Guys, I wouldn't either.
Seriously,
it's the hardest booking imaginable. However, I think they're doing a better job than people realize because there's so many guys that are ready and waiting to be that. You've got, like, the way you solve it seems to be what they're doing.
Sure.
Which is giving guys really good setups, like giving them great money, giving them merchandising opportunities, Make-A-Wish opportunities, and letting them do more, letting them get the action figures and letting them get all the, having their shirts sold at the events and get cuts of merch sales, like all the stuff that used to be reserved for just some of the top guys, now the amount of people getting that kind of stuff is crazy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at like the WWE store, like front page, and there's like the guys you're looking for aren't even on the front page. Yeah. You have to hit like view all or whatever to even get to like any of the, like Braun Breaker, Dominic Mysterio. I don't even think those guys are on there.
And I'm willing to bet there's a lot of guys that are like, I would love to be world champion, but behind the scenes, and they would love to be world champion, but behind the scenes, they're probably having conversations with Triple H and others that are in that branch that are going, I don't know how I can prove it to you, but you've already made it.
Right.
Like, look at what your setup is in the company. You're good. Mm-hmm. You're made here now, and you don't ever have to leave, and you're going to retire and go in the Hall of Fame. And at some point, you will likely have the belt.
Yeah.
But right now, look at what we have going on in the
it's
title.
Just hard because you have Cena. That whole thing is going to hog the belt for a while over there.
Yes.
But you have the
Cena's going to retire.
The world titles, the world heavyweight titles, the one that
that's the one. That's the workers' title, I think. And there's nothing. I don't think there's anything wrong with having that either. You know what I mean?
No, that's what I mean, really, they should both be workers' title if you think about it. But
they should, but they usually use the WWE title for the really big stuff.
Yeah, it's like the poster boy reign, right?
Or the poster boy of the industry type thing.
That's the way I always look at it. And then the belt is just a big WWE logo. It's like,
I would do anything to get away from that. But
I would like them to change the world heavyweight title. Take the logo off of it.
Take the big fucking W
even
off
if they have, even if their side plates have the logo.
I love WWE and I love what they're doing right now, right? Take the fucking W off the belt because we know you're WWE. You don't have to tell us.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's always been weird.
Yeah, I just don't understand that. Like this right here, like this would look great without the
without this. Thing. Get it the fuck out.
And you have side plates.
This look like it did already.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
I don't know
idea there, but like, because really, we understand. We know what show we're watching.
I tuned in because I'm aware it's WWE.
Yeah.
Which I intended to watch.
Yeah,
you know?
that's. I don't think that's controversial at all. That's
no,
very.
it's not controversial.
That's
it's
extremely
just funny.
Yeah.
But you were saying how, to paraphrase, you've been feeling kind of like about WWE a little bit.
SmackDown has been tough to watch. Like it feels like things are dragging.
Yeah. And I feel like after how incredible the momentum and payoff and execution of everything up to 40 was, that everything up to 41 hit less.
Yes.
And I thought 41 was great, but it wasn't 40 great. And I think that is leaving a kind of a lull feeling. But when you really stop and break it down, you realize like, oh, it's still nasty, but there's room to get back to even crazier,
of course, Yeah. I think they're in a spot right now where like the storylines are a little bit like they're trying to get the ball rolling again on
That's right.
things.
Yeah, they're wrapping up things and starting to figure out what the next moves are.
Yeah.
And that's how it goes, Every storyline they try to go into isn't always going to be Cody's hunt for the title or the fucking, it's just not going to be. So
No, I definitely get that.
Yep.
But man, it's like watching SmackDown is like a chore right now. And that's
not good. No. And they just bumped it to 3 hours, didn't they?
Yeah, that's the problem.
They've got to not do that.
Don't have it 3 hours.
You've got to not do that.
The Wyatts are set to come back for SmackDown, which that might help. I don't know.
Good.
It's just like a tough, man, there was just some matches that I was like, I just don't care about this match, and why should I?
Yeah, because it didn't have a story.
Yeah.
It's like...
And you know what bugs me too is when they put two guys that aren't a tag team together against a tag team.
Yeah. Oh, I bet they win.
And you're like, wait, why are we doing this? Like, what is the...
You're not going to have tag teams.
Yeah.
Just
you have tag teams.
A tag team.
You're not building your tag teams.
Establish more fucking tag teams, you know?
Right. Yeah, I just don't... That one's tough for me. Yeah. It's like you're just doing it just to showcase these two guys.
And there's no need. You could do it differently. Just have them wrestle each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you don't... I don't know. But at the same time, NXT has been nasty. Raw's been pretty good.
Sometimes
Raw's generally easier to watch because they aren't strictly set on a time.
Raw definitely feels fresher than... It always does.
It always does. At least right now, it always does. Yeah. Agreed.
I think it like I'm also kind of bothered by like so many matches ending in interference. Someone always shows up in all these matches.
Show. Like on the weeklies, it gets into that, and then you get some resolution at pay-per-views, and they've got to break that up.
I know. It's like once in a while somebody can eat a pin. Like I don't know.
Yep. There's been some pin, like it still happens.
Yeah, but it just seems like
there's
a
a
huge
lot of
percentage
and stuff.
Definitely, like more than 60% of these matches are ending in fucking some sort of interference.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, that just bugs me for some reason. But it can advance storylines, but it's like use it when it is appropriate.
They need to figure out a couple, like more than one more, probably more than two more. So like 3 to 4 other ways to accomplish what they're trying to accomplish with a run-in. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like it doesn't have to have somebody else, but what can you do? How can you end where it's not 100% clear and you can build suspense to the next time they meet?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't have that answer, but...
Yeah, it's...
I hope they find it because the run-in shit is a bummer. It just, when you count on it too much, it's pointless.
It just bothers me because you have a good match, right? Yeah. And everything's coming down and something's about to happen. Like you're like, oh, this is the finish. And then all of a sudden somebody pulls somebody off a turnbuckle or,
even when they DQ it, you're just like, why?
Yeah.
Like what? Couldn't have just let somebody win
somebody
Like they're just gonna face each other again. It's a never-ending league.
You're gonna forget who won or lost, like
immediately.
Yeah, because that's not what it was about.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I'm with you on that 100%.
Yeah, it's just been bugging me.
I'm never gonna be a fan of excessive run-ins.
Yeah.
In one night, like no.
Yeah. I'm gonna pause for a second so I can fix this echo that we're getting.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're back. I don't know what was going on. I heard some echo in my monitor.
Yeah, minor technical difficulties we could easily fix.
So we got and that was kind of a crazy moment. And actually, let's pull this up because yeah, it'll be. I don't care.
I know what. No, I'm saying I know what you're bringing up.
Yeah. So we're gonna definitely watch this.
Oh man, I hate this. I hate to see it. Absolutely hate to see it. This was a good match too, and I loved seeing Kairi Sane back.
Yes,
that was Kairi. Great. She's fucking nasty. But so is Zoey, dude. I hate this.
Just way too far across the ring here, I think.
I think that it was a mistiming because she was celebrating too long or something.
She's sitting on the ropes waiting.
Yep.
And it just, she wasn't there.
She just didn't hear her and wasn't there. It was a miscue. It looks like Zoey jumped too early.
Yes.
Or Kairi couldn't hear and wasn't aware of the cue.
Right.
But either way, she tried to do a kick to her, and all she did was tweak her knee. The worst, one of the worst knee injuries I've ever seen.
It reminds me of Sid.
Yeah. Well, Sid was a straight up shin snap, full double whammy, doing something really dumb. That's risky, but what caused the injury for sure was her trying to overextend to get to Kairi.
Mm-hmm.
And she shouldn't have done that.
That didn't even show it the same way they showed it on Raw, but they went right to a commercial and
just look how bad it is.
Yeah. You can. I'll pull that up real quick. You can see
absolutely terrible.
Yeah, this was not good right here. I mean, it's one of those situations where I don't know who it's on necessarily, and it doesn't matter.
And it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's a freak injury. It was a miscue.
Yeah.
And it's a stark reminder, unfortunately, Zoey Stark, but it's a reminder of just how dangerous fucking everything they do is.
Yes. Well, the problem is that I think that's the same knee she had reconstructed already.
Pretty sure, and that is not good, dude.
No, bad, very bad. And what sucks is that she's just coming back. It's like,
yup, her whole team just got fired right out from under. Just bye to your team. And now she's coming back to try to make her way as like a single star, and she's good.
Bad situation
really good.
All around for her, man.
Yeah, I hate to see that. Speedy recovery. I hope that she's able to come back.
Yeah.
Ever. I hope she gets whatever she needs.
I don't think I kind of got it spoiled. I wasn't watching it live. I was watching, so like when I watch Raw, usually like most of the time I'm at work, and if I'm on nights, I will wait until it's over at like 11 because I got to be there till 4 anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'll wait until it's like 11 and it's over, and then I'll go on Netflix and watch the whole thing straight through. Because what they do, and they're really good about this, Netflix is they'll cut all the commercials out like as soon as it airs. So if you watch it live, you'll see all the commercials. But if you watch it back, and I've seen it even while it's still happening and you're just behind, it still cuts the commercials out.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. So like, I'd rather watch it without that, obviously.
Of course.
And I'd rather watch it straight through. But the problem is you're scrolling through Instagram before 11 o'clock and something's going to show up.
Something's going to get spoiled. Yep.
And we've talked about that before, how the shit is on there bang instantly.
They are the most aggressive at spoiling their own shit.
So
having said that, a lot of people follow it just on social media, so I get why they do it.
Yeah, I totally
because there's like a demand for it, I guess. But
but also that's something that it's not like you need to see it live.
No.
But that was bad,
real bad.
She immediately knew it was a problem, and They were good about it. Like,
Yeah, they
you saw
handled it perfectly.
Rhea was like, "Oh shit, this is not good." They all knew it wasn't good.
Yeah.
Um,
And they all are pros and did their best to work around it and moved on with the match.
yeah, it sucks because I went on like Zoe's like Twitter or Instagram or something, and like not long ago she was getting a knee reconstruction, and you're like, "Fuck."
I just hate that.
It's just not going to be the same after that in the first place, you know?
No.
And then you do it again. And I'm pretty sure it's the same knee. So that's
And
just a
it's
rough
worse.
situation.
That's
Tough.
an even more extreme tweak.
Yeah. It's just a tough break, man.
Yeah, real tough break for somebody very promising.
Yep. Let's see. Gunther and Logan is going to be pretty awesome.
Oh,
Gunther
I'm excited about that. And Gunther's done a great job. He's like already starting to turn good guy again.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the way. I like the way they're treating him, dude.
Oh yeah, dude. I love that.
It's weird though because he was like this unbeatable guy for a while, and then all of a sudden he gets beat, and
which it has to happen.
Yeah,
you know, I get it.
And it's like, yeah, it makes sense to he has to beat Pat.
Yes,
obviously. Makes sense.
Of course. Which Pat looked great in that match.
It's like they booked him like this monster, and then all of a sudden he's like losing.
But with Logan,
his whole character was based around like he's the best and doesn't lose.
Yep. But that was intentional. That was to build up, you know.
Yeah.
Everything that was going on with Sammy for that Mania where Sammy won the belt off him.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. No, I think Gunther and Logan is a good match.
It's guaranteed
when that happens.
And it's something we need to see from Logan. We need to see him work with somebody who's a worker.
A top guy worker, yes.
A top guy worker who's going to go, oh, you want to do some cool moment where we slingshot off the ropes?
Yeah,
funny.
Because
I'm going to chop the shit out of you and I'm going to break you down.
Yeah. Because, it's like Jay is what it is, and that match was fine.
The Jay and Gunther match?
Yeah.
I thought it was one of Jay's better matches he's had at that level.
Oh, for sure. But
we've already talked about it, but ever since Jay got the belt, he just went, oh, I understand how to work at a higher level randomly.
He has to.
Yeah.
I'm just so tired of super kicks, man. I'm like,
me too.
I just don't get the super kick thing.
It's a bummer.
It's everywhere. It's a wrestling epidemic right now. Like it's literally everywhere. Doesn't matter what you watch. There's super kicks everywhere.
Same with Canadian destroyers.
Well,
everybody does them.
Canadian destroyers are sick though.
Multiple people are doing them as a finisher though.
Yeah,
I don't get that.
I just, it's like Shawn Michaels always had the sweet chin music, and it's like that was
and if he comes out
kick.
tomorrow and he chin music somebody, you will go. It's different.
It is different. It is different.
Yep.
And you see
exact same move. Yeah. There's literally no reason it's different other than the lore he has built around him doing it.
Right.
That's it.
He also I think he had like a much better extension when he would land it.
His is the best I've ever seen.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he would also land it would just look better. Like the impact always looked better.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
There's a lot of these guys are almost half-ass in their super kicks. It looks like, and it kind of hurts the. I think guys are working a lot safer now.
People stopped caring about super kicks multiple years ago at this point.
Yes,
it's already a dead and buried pandemic that's done with.
Yeah.
And it's just never stopped and it's over. And you just got to find something else cool to do other than a super kick though.
It's just tough. There's there's this fine line between working safe and making it look good still.
That's right.
And I'm starting to see that line be less and less blurred. Guys are just working too safe. They don't want to hurt each other.
You can tell who the guys are that work where you can, where it's obviously snugger work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can tell who they are. So, no, I'm with you, man. The super kick thing, not a fan of that. Not a fan at all.
Yeah, it just bugs me. You see it everywhere.
And when I see them, I'm usually just
Yeah. Night and day difference between those. I don't even know how we got to super kicks, but we did.
We did for sure.
I think that Rhea's lost a bunch of momentum.
Me too.
I think they're kind of lost with her character in a way.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with that.
I'm not sure where, like, she kind of shoehorned her way into this triple threat thing to begin with a couple months ago, and then, you know, I just don't know where her aim is.
Her character is established.
Yeah.
Her status as one of the top women in the industry is very established.
Mm-hmm.
But now what? You know, I think that is the case. That is like the perfect message of the whole show today. Like this episode is now what? Because I feel like that's what we're feeling.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody's reached these places where they worked so hard for the past 2 years to establish themselves as the modern class of legends. Yes. And now that they are, now what? You know?
Right.
Now what? And it's a tough spot to be in. What do you do with them to continue their legacies?
Yeah, it feels like they burnt the candle at both ends. You know what I mean? And there's like they had these great like the Liv and Rhea thing died fast, and they dragged it out for really long.
Yeah.
So when it ends, it feels like something's missing.
It was done. Yeah.
And it's a weird way to. It just I don't know. That's a tough thing for me. Like it feels like her momentum stopped all of a sudden.
Totally agree.
And she gets huge pops. Everybody, you know, obviously still
she's still
her
super
whatever,
over.
But
I just think when that happens, in my opinion, the move is to put them out of the top and to that new spot we've been talking about where let her and Bianca feud, but just don't have it be for the title and let new people challenge and feud in new storylines over the title, while Rhea and other prior champions can be feuding over storyline grudges and stuff, you know, character work,
right,
instead of just the title.
Yeah.
She doesn't need to be the champion ever.
She just needs to find where that feud is. Like I think there's
agreed.
She's missing. She's not. There's no aim for her right now.
Well, it seems like her aim is the title.
Yes, it always has, but
is that enough? And is it necessary?
Yeah.
You know, look what they did. The flip side of that is look how good they handled things with the other women's belt. With Tiffy and Nia Jackson and Bailey and, you know, and Io Sky. Like they've done a really good job with that belt. It's strange.
Yeah. I don't know. I was watching Rhea like a week ago, and I was like, I wonder what's going on with this situation, because it just feels like there's not a target. And I think the whole women's division right now, it's all leading up to like Naomi, Bianca, like that situation.
At least on that show, yeah,
right.
For sure.
That's kind of the focus. Like that's the focal point, you know.
Yep.
So, just something I wanted to point out, because I just don't know about that right now.
Yeah, for sure.
After the Judgment Day, they didn't really quite have plans for some of these guys.
Yeah. Whereas with the Judgment Day, they're continuing to do good stuff.
Yeah.
And Dom is just a god.
Yeah.
Period. And everything he touches is beyond gold, you know?
Yeah.
So Judgment Day is always good. It's so funny that faction ended up being such a great centerpiece that you can always use. And as long as those guys are involved, it's on and on and on, you know?
Well, it's interesting seeing Roxanne getting involved in that too.
Kind of, yeah. And that's great. Liv's gone. Roxanne comes in. She gives Dom chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
And then she gives fucking Carlito an apple.
And great segment.
And now Raquel's fest, dude. So good.
Yeah. I love that. The fucking chicken nuggets is great, man.
And he instantly is just like, whatever. I'm going to go eat these nuggets.
Yeah. He doesn't care. He was giving her a look too when she left.
Like, what? He was skeptical.
That's Dom's character, though.
Yeah, it is, of course. But she's a great example, though, Roxanne. Mm-hmm. She's a good example of, like, you've got these major players coming up from NXT now. It doesn't even feel like up. It feels like over, because they're just so good already in NXT.
Yes.
Especially the women's division is just insane down there.
Yeah, it's great.
So if you're bringing her in, she's got to be in a major level.
Yeah. I also like the, the formal signing to Raw. Like they need to do that more.
Do that more. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a draft.
It feels like a promotion type thing. And
yeah,
I like that.
It feels like a high profile team signing in another sport. You know.
Yeah, like you're getting called up to the
like this person, like there was a trade or something.
Yeah,
they need to do that more. Yeah, I think that's cool.
All right, we're back again. We're getting like latency with our audio. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think the Judgment Day thing's cool. I think I think Roxanne needed a spot, and that was like a big deal.
It's a cool way to bring her in. Yeah, for sure.
It's a smart move for both ends, really.
Yeah, I think
I'm just waiting for the Judgment Day to. I'm waiting for the implosion. I'm waiting for.
They've been building it for a while now. Where it's gonna be Finn and Dom, and they tease it, and eventually it's really gonna pop off. Well, I think the reason they keep pulling the trigger on it is because they keep hitting these spots where it's good.
But you have, and they're like, here's the thing. You already have, Dom has the title. Like, what better time to do it when one of them has the belt?
Agreed. And he's so over now, getting cheered. Mm-hmm. Now's the time
that you can
have Finn go, what the fuck? You guys hated this guy. You don't give a fuck about me, and I've been the backbone.
Right. Play off this whole thing.
His ass. Yeah. I agree. Now's the time. Now that you have Dom and Liv, and I don't think the move is to split Dom and Liv. I think you have Liv turn good guy with Dom, because you tell the story that the only reason Liv was even able to get Dom to side with her is because he's not as greasy as he portrays. And it's because he was being manipulated by Rhea, and Liv showed him that he was being manipulated, and that she actually gives a fuck about him and isn't manipulating him, which has been maintained the whole time that she's been in Judgment Day with Dom. She's not manipulating him.
I know that's actually crazy because
works good with them.
We at first thought that was going to be what happens. She was going to turn. She wanted the belt, and
but it was the opposite. It was the opposite. She was the one getting revenge against Rhea, who was the actual scumbag in the situation.
Yes. Yeah, which is weird.
And now that Dom is getting cheered and couldn't deserve it more, you have Liv stick by his side with Raquel and have Finn be the one that flips.
This is all like it's like we want Demon Finn. Like all of this. Like if I'm fantasy booking, dude, that's all I'm doing.
You have him pull it out when he faces Dom.
Yes,
for the IC title.
Right. You can storyline all that right in there pretty easily.
But I don't think the move is to have Dom be a scumbag again. And Bal on Liv, who's been great to him for Raquel, or not for Raquel, for Roxanne. I don't think that's the move. I think what you do is you have Roxanne come in and side with Finn and try to break up Dom and Liv, right? Which it seems like they're doing because Finn was who introduced her.
Yes.
So you have her be an attempt at like breaking up Liv and Dom by Finn that backfires because Dom actually isn't scummy as we think, and he actually it's like, nah, brother,
it's
I'm
tough
with Liv,
because like his whole thing is lie, cheat,
he's
steal,
dirty Dom, but he's not that dirty. Like he's dirty in an Eddie Guerrero way, where it's charming, it's funny.
It's a likable
dirty.
Yes.
Whereas I think storyline, it just makes sense. Don't have him turn on Liv. Tease it, and the audience is going to think he will because of everything with Rhea. And then he just doesn't. And you go, no, I'm not leaving Liv. She's been incredible to me. Fuck off. Get out of here, bitch. And that's when Finn snaps because he's like, it's not working.
Yeah.
And he goes, fuck it, I got to do it myself then, and turns on him.
I think, I just think if I'm playing like universe mode, that's what I do right now.
That's the move.
Like instantly I do that. Yeah. And I know fans want, Balor's demon form to come back out.
For so long.
I don't think it's like the whatever gimmick he's doing now is really resonating. Like people like it. People like Finn. But he's just not quite, It grabbed people when he was doing that.
Agreed.
And he needs the old theme song, and I don't know. It's weird when you get this change and it doesn't quite catch.
Yeah. Yeah. But
And
I
he
think
has
him
to-
turning heel on Dom would be the move.
I mean, I would like
Yeah.
to see how he feels about it, because I mean, it's like,
That's true.
maybe
That's
he
true.
likes what he's doing.
Maybe. Yeah, he might
We
love
should
it.
get him on the show. Maybe he'll.
Yeah,
call
let's
in.
talk to Finn Balor. I bet we can.
Yeah.
I bet that works. Yeah. We go, look at our views. I mean, hey,
I already mentioned
views,
my last note, so it was about
Okay.
the interference thing, and
Oh,
I get bugged with it, man. It's like,
Yep. The only thing I really have to mention other than that stuff is Karrion Kross.
Yeah.
Is seems like he's organically on a big rise and well deserved and long fucking overdue.
I'm worried
and
about
they
it.
need to keep him moving.
It's confusing the shit out of me though, because they keep putting him on like main event.
Yeah, that's not going to work for me.
It's
He's
like,
got to be way up.
Yeah, put him on I don't understand.
You got to bring his ass up and have him in major shit. Have him feuding with the LA Knights and the Drews and the Damians.
It's just
and
a
shit.
weird
He's
thing.
that level, and it's
I don't
obvious.
understand why they're not putting him on. Like by now, it's been a while.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Also, they WrestleMania pulled out of New Orleans.
They did, yeah. And now they're doing something.
That concerns the shit out of me. That makes me think about the way TKO wants to run this. Because if you look at the UFC, they're in Vegas all the time.
Yep. Yeah, if they keep going to Vegas, that's going to kill WWE.
It's going to be a real problem.
Yeah, real problem. It's already
it's going to be Vegas and Saudi Arabia. And you're like, what?
It's already starting to feel like TKO's ownership is rearing its ugly head a tad.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
I
I
don't
agree.
like that.
I don't like it either.
That is a nightmare. They've
It
got to
scares
know
me,
to do zero with what WWE is already doing.
Yep.
They've got to know.
It scares the hell out of me because I don't want to see it go that route. Like,
no,
you can't.
Because the UFC's never been worse. Never. Not in the 90s, it was better.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so bad right now. It's not even worth getting into on our wrestling show. But the UFC is borderline unwatchable right now, and it sucks because I will always love and support the fighters, and the UFC is just so grimy and scummy, and it's.
When this happened, like when this TKO deal happened, it was like
that's right.
It was like that was when we I was concerned to begin with, but I think when it happened for the UFC, Jake and I were talking about that on the other show. Like we were kind of already skeptical about it when the UFC got bought.
Yeah.
It's like, this isn't going to be good for it. And it hasn't been. So
it's actually been catastrophic for it.
So I hope that that's not a harbinger of what happens here.
Yeah.
With WWE, because
that would be real bad.
We do not want that.
Nope.
And I don't think anybody's a fan of, and I don't know what the situation was, to be honest with you, because I don't know if they had to have had this established already to go to New Orleans. Like you can't, it's not like the Super Bowl gets booked in a couple months in advance.
Time we saw it.
They announced it already. The whole thing. They had a whole promo on deal. Like on this year's WrestleMania. Yep. They had a whole vignette like showing it off. They have a logo reveal, all that stuff.
Yep. And now they're backing out of New Orleans. Why? You know?
Right. Like, what's the reason for it?
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, that's really concerning.
It really is.
And I don't want to see. I don't want to see them basically do like a residency in Vegas. Like that's so scary.
No, that would be the stupidest idea of all time.
No, because what happens is the interest in Vegas like it's not like people are gonna only want to travel to Vegas to go to WrestleMania.
Fuck no.
It's like having the Super Bowl in the same town every year.
Yeah, fuck that.
Interest dwindles because you've already done it. You've been there and done
it. Tell that to the UK where they just got done having a huge event there like last year and got asked if they'd ever do a Mania there, and Triple H was like, I'd absolutely love to do that after this. Yeah, well, it's not looking good when TKO is going, it's Saudi Arabia or fucking Vegas only.
Yeah, that's...
Okay. Well, we can save money if we do it at our places. Fuck your places, they suck. Nobody wants to fucking go there.
The whole thing is, it's all TKO related.
How do you make WWE's home something other than Madison Square Garden ever, and then have a conscience? How do you do it?
Yeah, that's true.
Good luck. You know.
Yeah, and I don't think there's been any reports that have told us why.
It's one of the things that hurt 40 for me. I thought 40 was one of the greatest manias ever. But I'll always feel like for big, monumental numbered manias, like for 50, you have something there happening at MSG,
Sure.
or it's a catastrophic what the fuck fell.
Yeah.
Because it's the origin of it all. You know what I mean? How do you not pay homage to it? Well, but it doesn't seat 100,000. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, in Vegas,
I don't care.
They must have done where the Raiders play this year. That must be where they do the Vegas ones.
I don't know.
Because, what is it called? Allegiant Stadium.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think
that's
you're right.
That's a new venue. It's only like 2 or 3 years old.
They're probably like, oh, let's do the Dome. Fuck the Dome. The fucking
like it's not like there's not high capacity fucking venues. Do anywhere else. Like there's plenty of venues they can do this, and obviously New Orleans was an option. They obviously did this for a reason. Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I don't know.
They had multiple announcements.
It's all that stuff is dicey to me. I just try to focus on the product.
And you know, it's funny. Like it's all The Rock's fault now on the internet.
No,
Everybody
it's
thinks
not.
It's The Rock's fault.
Or it's TKO.
The Rock didn't go. Let's not do it in normal. It doesn't work for me.
No chance. It's probably TKO.
It's definitely TKO. It's all shareholders.
Yep.
That's the problem.
That's what happens when you sell your company that was private.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm saying is look at the UFC as an example.
Yeah.
It just cannot go that route.
No.
And if it does,
WWE will die if it goes the UFC route.
It won't. But, maybe it will. AEW, if they step up their game and
they'll take over.
And WWE does what the UFC's been doing.
The only other option is if it gets stupid enough, you're going to see people like Triple H and shit going, fuck this.
Yeah.
You know? And if Triple H and Steph leave and they start their own thing, there goes all of your talent. Goodbye, WWE.
Well, somebody was, like I don't know, like even Vince, if he ever wanted to, he could go, I'll start something.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like if it is good enough, I don't think people are gonna fucking not watch it.
They could the mass exodus of talent that would leave WWE if Triple H and Steph left.
Yeah.
To start their own thing because the TKO thing was
it would just be complete. It would change the landscape entirely.
Yeah. Whatever they start up is the top now, and WWE's dead.
Yeah.
And TKO would go, cool, fuck us. And they would deserve it for fucking touching the business.
Right.
For touching
I
how
think
it's
what's
working.
more likely is you're going to have something that's already established, like your TNAs or AEWs.
Yeah.
That will have a massive increase in their viewers.
Yeah, for sure.
If you have this, I mean, it's not good, man.
No,
I didn't.
That's the scariest thing to me in wrestling right now is TKO owning WWE and their track record for making UFC
it's a very
impossible to support.
Yeah, I just like the looks of it for me. The optics right now are not good to me. Like I think Raw has been good. SmackDown's very draggy. Needs to go back to 2 hours.
Needs to be 2 hours only. Yep.
And this TKO situation's not good to me. It just doesn't look good. I mean, I think we rode this like crazy high, and then now it's like I don't want to say it, but it looks like we're hitting the top of that roller coaster.
Yep.
And we're about to
have some dark ages.
Yeah.
And I don't want that.
Because everything looked good for a while.
Now, luckily, there's competition, like you said. Because if it gets bad
then I can just watch something else.
People move over to AEW or TNA or whoever.
I'll get TNA Plus or start watching AEW, whatever.
But which we'll segue out of. The last thing I wanted to talk about is that AEW there's anything going on with Tony Storm. Now I care.
Yes.
And Tony Storm is about to face off with Mina Shirakawa, I think her name is. She had been in the company briefly. She was a big deal in Stardom. She's now full-time in AEW, and she's feuding with Tony for the title.
Yeah.
And Tony just, shocker, cuts the best promo anybody's doing in AEW.
And she says, you watch this now.
And yep, she is absolutely, without a doubt, the best thing happening in all of AEW by far. And Tony Khan, you need to be fucking putting her on the end of every single fucking show you do. Every fucking pay-per-view ends with her match.
Yeah.
Every show ends with her promo.
Yeah,
and
why
her
is she
match.
not the closer?
Now, you've got to be doing that 6 months ago. You've got to be doing it a year ago. You've got to be having Tony Storm be your top thing anybody cares about in your company, because she already is.
Yeah.
And you're not having her go on last, and it's dumb. Flat out, end of story.
Yeah. No, that's 100% correct.
Yep.
I don't understand why you would ever have your biggest storyline not be the closer.
Because you got to have Jon Moxley be a fucking edgelord.
I mean, look at like WWE. The way they do it is it'll open the show and it'll also be the end. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I think that's a huge.
You should have her on your show 2 to 3 times an episode. She's so good.
Yeah. Like, don't just I don't know, because the way they'll have like the show will open with Seth Rollins and it'll end with Seth Rollins.
Yeah. Have her cut a promo to open the fucking show and then close the show with her in a main event match against somebody.
Yeah.
And further the story.
Yeah,
she is miles ahead of every single other talent in their entire company.
Yeah, she's money, dude. I watched a promo of, there was like an Osprey promo, and he's like, he was like talking about how he does everything right, and then like the second he says that, he instantly goes into, I don't live in this country, I have to fly 15 hours every week or whatever. You're not doing it right.
You're not doing
That's
it right.
not doing it right.
Also, are you watching what Tony Storm is doing? Because if you're not, then he's just not aware that he's not doing it right. And I like Osprey.
Yeah, he's fine. But like,
I think he's fine. But nobody in their whole entire company is doing something that even is a pedestal for Tony to stand on. She's so far above and ahead of everything else on the show.
Sometimes there's a level of confidence like where you want your character needs to be over the top. Yes.
Sure.
But there's a level of confidence where it's too much and you start talking shit about WWE and you go, I'm better than everybody over there. I do everything right. And meanwhile, you're like clearly not doing everything right.
And you're not doing it. Yeah.
Right. Like, because it's just that guy, I don't think he
turns into delusion.
Yes.
And
exactly.
that hurts your character.
That's bleeding over into his character, and that's a problem.
Yeah, that's a problem.
And whatever. If you do that off screen, fine. But when your character is the same as you, like you are your character, that's
tough.
Yeah. Unless you want that to be your character, but I don't think you do.
Yep. And meanwhile, you've got a girl in Tony who might be the most compelling single thing happening in all of women's wrestling, any company.
Sure.
And she's not
Is Mariah May
anything.
Is Mariah May under contract still, or what? Is she going to WWE? Or
no, as far as I know, she's under contract in AEW. She's just on a vacation because of she was such a major player in Tony's story, you know?
Yeah.
So I think she just, after she dropped the title back to Tony, she's just on a vacation. Taking some time off that's well-deserved. And when she comes back, shocker, it's going to be more incredible, best thing on the show with her and Tony.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, this TNA event is happening tonight.
It is. Yeah, Under Siege.
I don't know. I guess you got to have to TNA Plus to watch it.
Which I don't know a ton about, but I badly want to. I would absolutely watch this, dude. Just look at.
Is that Eric Young? Is that who that is?
It looks like Eric Young to me.
Jeff Hardy can't go because he can't go into Canada.
Yeah, and they worked that into a story, which I think is risky, but it seems like they did it in a good way. Yeah, like the way that they just had him come right out and go, guys, look, you know about my past. I can't go to Canada. Right. And now Matt's got to find another partner to face with him.
I just would like to see. So, like, this is what they need to do. So, like, you go to. Let me pull this up on the.
Hendry. God, I love Joe Hendry.
This is their homepage, right? TNA Plus. So you go here, and yes, this is locked. But why don't they do more shows that aren't on TNA Plus? Because this right here, you can click on and watch it.
It's the countdown show to it, which is cool. I have no problem with them doing that.
But like, why don't they broadcast some of this shit for free?
You mean like their pay-per-views?
I mean, a lot of this stuff. Like, I mean, obviously this is. Why not do like a couple shows that are free? Like, because where else do you watch TNA? What is it even on?
It's on TNA Plus. Yeah.
Isn't there? Don't they have a weekly show though?
Ooh, I'm not sure.
Impact, right?
So I mean, they have it. Of course, they have Impact, but is that also just on TNA Plus?
That's what I mean. Like, do they have a station deal like on cable?
Admittedly, of course, the way that I at least follow TNA is on social media and on YouTube. You know,
yeah,
it's after the events. Dude, look at that. Trick Williams?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Trick Williams, dude. That's I have to see that shit.
Yeah, it's probably going to be. I mean, I actually might watch this tonight. I'll probably go fall asleep.
Yep, Ethan Page, Joe Hendry, and Frankie Kazarian, dude. What?
Right. It's. I mean, this.
Oh, that's I see. Okay, so this is scrolling through a bunch of other cards.
You know what they could do is
Under Siege looks sick though, dude.
You know what they could do is put it on YouTube once in a while. Put an episode on YouTube.
Yeah,
but I just don't know. Like, I don't know if their contract is with like a network or whatever.
I'm not sure. Yeah,
they might be on the CW or like some.
I mean, hey, TNA's been around long enough where having their own app works because of the fact, as long as it's not expensive. If it's like $5 max, sick. Because look at the library that they have.
Yeah.
Because TNA, I mean, you're going to be able to go all the way back and watch Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe and shit.
Yeah, yeah. WWE could do this if they really wanted to, but like the WWE Network was a thing, and then they made it.
They sold it out immediately.
They said we'll go to Peacock. Yeah, which I don't know. They could have gotten away with it, especially
the WWE Network, dude. It was so good.
It felt like it was easier to navigate, and it was more like because when you go on Peacock,
they had no restrictions. They own their own distribution.
Yes,
and it was making them money. So it's
shit. If they really wanted to, they could have said, "Well, the Netflix deal is great for them."
Sure,
but you could put SmackDown on it.
Yeah,
because that deal's going to expire eventually with the USA Network.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know.
And then they're going to end up just putting SmackDown on Netflix, probably, and move everything over to that.
Maybe.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Because it's not like they're getting...
I don't think they know.
I think the brand itself is entirely different than... It's like you're not paying for WWE. You're paying for Raw. Raw is a show. You're paying for the show.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that all works.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think like it would be smart to do free events for TNA.
Yeah.
On YouTube.
So. Yeah, you don't have to have them all be free.
No.
But every once in a while do one.
And obviously
maybe
they can't
once
do Impact
a quarter or something.
Right.
You
can't do Impact if it's under a deal.
True.
But your pay-per-views are not on broadcast on TV.
No. So maybe have a pay-per-view once a month or once every 2 months or something, or once a month, and 1 out of every 3 you do on YouTube free.
That's what I mean.
You'll draw huge views.
You would get big numbers. I think you would.
And you'd bring in a lot of viewers that would watch it because it's free and live on YouTube.
To me, like I know, because like especially now with
commercial revenue would be crazy.
And you have NXT TNA, like they're working together.
Huge,
you have NXT players on TNA. Now I think is the time to have like an entry point. People aren't willing to commit to buying TNA Plus to be like, I hope I like it. You know what I mean?
You have to give them an entry that's a full show they're getting for free to get in on. Even WWE has that. They have shows that are free on YouTube.
Yeah. It's just
they have Speed, which is free on Twitter.
Yeah. I don't know what that is, if it's 1 or 2 matches or what Speed
I
is.
don't know.
I've never seen it. I don't really watch. I've never watched it.
It's one of the things, one of the many products I have that I get off social media, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I get like results in an article or some shit.
Which is funny because it's aired live on social media and I don't watch it aired live on social media. Because it's only on Twitter and I'd rather die twice than have Twitter for a minute.
I have it on my phone, but I don't ever open it.
No. I mean,
It's such a
90%
nightmare of
bots now, so
well, it just isn't a good format. I never
no,
liked
it's
the
trash.
format.
Never cared about it.
I never liked the way it was. It's all hashtags and everything's just like hard to navigate.
Yeah, I don't care about it.
Dude, half the time when I get on there, I'm searching for something, I can't find it. So
Nope.
it's like,
and then I
what
get
are we
on
doing?
Instagram and I go, oh, here's the WWE content
Instantly
I'm looking
it's there,
for.
yeah.
Just it's right there.
Yeah.
Just works.
I don't know. I think I'm not going to pay for TNA Plus, and that's the problem. Is that even as someone who does a wrestling podcast, you should be wanting to pay for TNA Plus.
Yeah, I know. We do a wrestling show.
That's
and
what I'm
we're
saying.
both going, should we get that?
It's just, to me, it's this wall that you have to jump over to see to even dip your toes in and see if you like the programming.
Yeah. And
I think that a YouTube show would help them.
This is cool. But
now,
it doesn't help them now. Like what we're seeing right now.
Countdown show
is, well, there's that. But what we're seeing right now also is for you is on TNA's official YouTube, they have fucking full pay-per-views, but they're all old shows.
Yeah.
Like you've got to be putting up your current product for people to see, not for money. Not for additional money more than they're already spending is what I mean.
So
which I get, that's tough.
These are highlights. So what's today? The 23rd.
Well, that's true. They do have highlights from shows.
Of the shows.
Yeah, and that's good. See, that can work. That can work. I think that's a good start for sure.
Well, anytime I watch TNA, it's through this. I just watch
it's only YouTube.
Yeah. I'll just watch like the segments, and these are 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. You know what I mean? So you're getting a chunk of the show.
Yeah, for sure. But it's not the same. It could be, they could do more.
That's what I'm saying. If they can do this, why can't they do the whole show live on here once in a while?
No, I get that.
I just think it would help.
They're doing a lot better these days, so I don't want to come off like I'm shitting on TNA.
Yeah, but that's exactly the thing. Is they have this traction, so grab it now.
Do it, even if it's one-off. Do a free show on YouTube. Do a 3-hour pay-per-view of your current guys and showcase your current roster.
Yeah.
And do a great card, and people will watch it for free. You'll draw huge numbers if it's free. Yeah. And on top of that, keep it up because people will come to watch it later if they can't watch it live. Yeah. And you're going to do crazy numbers on that, which could power spike your TNA Plus sales if people watch that free pay-per-view and go, oh, that's incredible. I've got to start following this.
And don't do it in Ontario so that Jeff Hardy can be there.
Oh, my God. All right. And that's the show. I love that.
Yeah. I would watch the shit out of that. I would think a lot of people would.
Yeah. Wicked good,
so
dude.
Head over to w.gg. Use the promo code, and this will just help us support the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, support us however you can.
Just whatever, just to get us in people's algos.
I mean, the best thing you could do too is openly argue with us in the comments, or try to rage bait us. That shit works.
That's great.
Yeah, we like that, and you should do that. So rage bait us.
Yep. All right. Yeah, that's it. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Check out the website and all that cool stuff. We really should start doing our showdown swaps.
We gotta. Yeah. Yep. I want to do that for sure.
So hopefully that'll come back soon.
Yep.
Other than that, 2 weeks from now.
Let's do it.
Later.
Bang.